What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We are back with some more draft lottery rebuilds, as here we are with pick number 8, the Washington Wizards. I assume the Wizards will be looking for their point guard of the future, so today we will be doing an Anthony Black Washington Wizards rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like in this one and subscribe if you are new to the channel. As always, greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me 63% of the people watching my videos are not subscribed, so go ahead and chat down below if you aren't subscribed. And if you want to change that, that's greatly appreciated. But let's talk about the Wizards, man. The Washington Wizards just got a new GM, so I don't know if that's going to change the approach this offseason on how they want to do things, but it's basically been said that they plan on re-signing Porzingis and Kuzma and just drafting, running it back, maybe making a few changes here and there. Problem with that is this team, though, finished 35-47 on the season, so is that really the best decision? That I'm not entirely sure. And then another problem is Bradley Beal has a no trade clause. So it's going to be very interesting on how the Wizards will plan out their future and what they're going to do. But one thing is for sure is we drafted Anthony Black. We also got Riley Kulig as well. And we got Ryan. I don't know how to say the last name, so I'm going to sign both of them. But Anthony Black, 100% is going to be our point guard of the future. I'm going to try to develop this man as much as possible and have him be successful here. So player options, Porzingis and Kuzma, both declined. So obviously, like I mentioned, there is interest in bringing them both back. There is one problem in 2K though with Kyle Kuzma. If you try to re-sign him, it literally does not let you. I don't know why. It just doesn't. So we'll see if I can find a way to get that done. But we'll see if I can find a way to re-sign Kuzma without it glitching, because I guess not really a glitch. It's just you don't have bird rights on him. Porzingis has 7 offers right now. So maybe what I could do is I could wait to sign Porzingis until at first maybe I can sign Kuzma first. I don't know. Let's see if we can get this done. So Kyle Kuzma, like if I try to resign him right now, it says I can't. As you can see, it says no, you can't for whatever reason. But I'm gonna give it a deal, and we'll see if I can wait on a Porzingis offer. So we're gonna try not to renounce Porzingis because, like I said, but Porzingis already has 99 interest from the Spurs. So like if I do this even further, then I'm gambling on losing Porzingis as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and re-sign Porzingis, and then it's not gonna let me re-sign Kuzma. So one part of the plan is already failed, but I wanted to bring back Porzingis anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. But if I try to go back and get Kuzma, it just doesn't let me for some reason. I think Washington has his bird rights in real life, but in 2K, it just isn't there for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. But now that Porzingis is back, we have Bradley Beal, Anthony Black, Johnny Davis, Anthony Gill. There's some pieces here. There's some things to like. But for me, I don't think going with Bradley Beal for the future is the direction we should be going in. I think we should be trading Beal, to be honest with you. I want to see how free agency played out because that's going to change some things. So Harden went back to Philly. So that's checks one team off the list that would maybe be interested. Because when you think about a Bradley Beal team, I just don't know where it comes from. It's going to be tough to determine who would want Bradley Beal. The Kings went ahead and signed like Drummond and Mo Wagner. That was one team I kind of had in mind if they wanted a Bradley Beal trade done. I don't know. It's going to be tough. So trading Beal is not going to be the easiest thing in the world. If we look at Kyrie Irving right now, he's looking like he's going to return to Dallas. So that doesn't make a ton of sense either for him to go to Dallas. So I want to trade Beal. I really do. I just don't know if there's a lot of options right now. So we might not be doing it. I feel like I got robbed of not being able to sign Kyle Kuzma back because I feel like they should be able to. But I am going to go ahead and make a couple moves before we go even further. So DeLon Wright, I'm actually going to trade him for a couple of seconds right now. That way we give Anthony Black the point guard role, and then Monte Morris could be his backup. Beal will stay here for now, but eventually I want to hand the reins over to Johnny Davis. Kispert's the starting 3 at the moment. Porzingis is the 4, but I'm probably going to move Porzingis to the 5. That way we have Gafford being the backup and not a starter. Now Dia can start at the 4, and then Kispert or whatever we bring in. If it's Kuzma or if we just roll with Kispert, we'll see. But I am going to trade DeLon Wright. And then eventually I want to trade Beal as well, but I don't know if there is an option to do that right now. So we'll be making this trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers where we get 3 second-round picks. We are sending them 1 as well, but we get Ricky Rubio. The reason why I'm bringing in Ricky Rubio is he'll be a perfect mentor to Anthony Black to start things off in this rebuild. We'll have him play our mentorship program on Anthony Black to start it off, and then he'll start, and Morris will be his backup. Rubio will be completely out of the rotation, but he'll be a little bit older than DeLon Wright, I guess. Anthony Black, Monte Morris, that's figured out. Johnny Davis, Bradley Beal. I guess I'll keep Bradley Beal for this season, and then maybe next offseason we can trade him. Kispert, and then Avdia, Anthony Gill, and then Porzingis and Gafford. So literally the only thing I could do now is bring back Kuzma, which I should have been able to. So maybe I'll just bring him back, which I'm supposed to be able to. So whichever team signs him, I'll just steal him away because he's supposed to be a Wizard. So we'll do something like that. And I think that's going to be the only moves we do this offseason. So nothing crazy. It's nothing. Literally, we didn't do anything crazy, to be honest with you. So if we can just wait on Kyle Kuzma and bring him back once he's able to be brought back, I'll even try to get him back, but it's probably not going to happen. He has declined my offer. So I'll bring back Kyle Kuzma, and I'll see you guys with the rotation. So now that we got Kyle Kuzma back, let's go ahead and look at this rotation. So it's Anthony Black as a starting point guard, which I like. Bradley Beal, Kuzma, Danny Avdija, Porzingis, Monte Morris, Corey Kispert, Daniel Gafford, and Ricky Rubio at that last spot, which I disagree with. I'm going to throw Johnny Davis in there over Ricky Rubio. Johnny Davis will be getting minutes as much as I can give him. So I want him to play as many minutes as we can because I do want to develop him as much as possible. Maybe give Gafford a little bit more. But Johnny Davis will be hopefully somebody we can develop in this video. But I am going to go ahead and start using those mentorship programs like I said. So we're going to go over to Corey Kispert started being mentored by Bradley Beal, which I actually want to dismiss this. I don't want Bradley Beal mentored by him. I actually want Johnny Davis being mentored by Bradley Beal, at least for this season. So pro touch, fearless finisher, and then let's go like catch and shoot. That's going to be huge. So we'll do that for Johnny Davis. And then, like I said, with Anthony Black, we're going to do that with Ricky Rubio, hopefully. So Ricky Rubio should be the perfect mentor here. So dimer, let's go floor general, and then needle threader. That's perfect. So we'll go something like that. I think that's going to be it. I don't think there's really anyone else I want to use. So that's going to be what we roll with. And I will see you guys probably at the trade deadline to either trade Kuzma, Porzingis, or we could just roll out this whole year, see how it goes, and maybe things are different and we make the playoffs somehow. I don't think we will, but you never know. And then in the offseason is when I expect big changes to come for this roster. So we are stopped at the trade deadline, and we are currently fighting for a play-in spot, but I am going to go ahead and trade Kyle Kuzma at the trade deadline. He's averaging 14 points per game on the season. I can get Jet Howard from the Dallas Mavericks and Davis Bertans, who's an expiring, but Jet Howard is a young player we could bring in and develop down the line. So Kuzma, what do they say? They want a couple of seconds. You know what? That's fine. We'll go ahead and do that. So we trade away Kuzma and get a young, promising player in Jet Howard, which I feel really good about. So Jet Howard, welcome to Washington, and Kuzma is gone. Also, another appealing aspect of doing this is our pick is top 12 protected in this draft. So I would rather just plummet and be in the lottery again, to be honest with you. So once again, though, I do want Johnny Davis getting minutes, and we'll have that going. So Johnny Davis is going to keep getting minutes. And who knows, maybe even after doing that, we might still make the play-in or playoff somehow. Play-in or playoffs. I'd rather be a terrible lottery team, but we'll see how it goes. 21-35 right now. Only one game out of the play-in. So hopefully we don't make the play-in. I guess if we do, we don't get our pick, so we shall see. So we got the finish that we wanted as we went 57, or not 57, sorry, 27 and 55, I believe, if we go look at my math, if that's correct. 27 and 55, 15 seed in the East, exactly the game plan that I wanted once I traded away Kyle Kuzma. So if we look at the player stats, you had Porzingis average 24, Bradley Beal with 23. These two players alone should net us some future assets this offseason. I plan on blowing this thing up. I gave it a try. We tried. It's not working. We're gonna roll with an Anthony Black, Johnny Davis, Jet Howard trio. I don't know, and then whatever else we can get out of the draft. So let's go into some of these playoffs. Let's see who's gonna go on to win the championship. And then we got a huge offseason ahead of us as we have Cleveland and Boston. You have the Pelicans, and you got the Celtics going on to win it all, beating the Pelicans in 4 games. This draft lottery is going to be super important. We are projected pick number 1 overall. So if we can stay in the top 3, I feel really good about that. Let's see what happens. And we are going to drop all the way to 5. So really unfortunate. It's okay because this draft isn't that great, but adding Matt would have been freaking awesome to this team. Buzelis would have been exactly what we needed. Knicks via Detroit get number 1, and then we have the 5th overall pick. So kind of sucks. It is what it is, but at least we have a top 5 pick, if nothing else. Staff signing, I'm going to leave this all the way it is. I could technically fire Wes Unseld and go with someone different. I guess if there was a good option out there, maybe I would do so. Is there good options? There might be good options down the line. So we'll probably keep him for now, and then eventually we're going to fire him probably for like a really good head coach once we're ready to be really good. So one thing we will do before we head into the draft is I am going to explore the idea of trading Beal and Porzingis right now because I am fully ready to move on from them. When I tell you I'm struggling with a Bradley Beal trade idea, I really am. So here is my best idea. The Clippers still try to do with Kawhi and Paul George, I guess. I don't know if that'd be the best decision, but I've looked at everywhere, and trading Bradley Beal is just so hard, man. Like everybody, it just doesn't have the money to match his contract, or they don't have enough assets. Like trading Beal is literally impossible at this moment. So this is the best idea I could come up with. Is it great? No. Maybe this is too much in your opinion. I don't know. But I'm trading him for Man, 3 firsts, and Amir Coffee, and seeing what they say to that. They want my 2027, 2028. That is not going to happen. I will remove Amir Coffee, but I definitely want those 2 firsts. If I can get those 2 firsts or 3 firsts, Bradley Beal for Man and 3 firsts, They want my first in 2028. It's a swap and then a second. So we net 2 first-round picks. I mean, it's a swap worse, though, so it's not the best idea. Or we could try to do it without Terrence Mann in the trade at all and just get like 3 firsts for Bradley Beal and call it a day. Do I love the return? Absolutely not, but we're dumping his contract off, I guess. Maybe we can squeeze Amir Coffey in there as well as a piece. What do they say to that? They agree. Oh, man. Not great. I don't know. Bradley Beal trade's just so tough, so I apologize if you thought that was way too little or if it was too much. Maybe you thought it was too much, but that's what we're rolling with, man. Trading Bradley Beal was literally so impossible to me. And now we're trading Kristaps Porzingis over to the Lakers for Max Lewis, Washington, and 2 first-round picks. You could argue this package is better than what we got for Beal, to be honest with you, but I'm going to offer it. They want my 2024, so not even this is going to work out. So let's just say it's 1 first then for Porzingis. They want Rubio in a second. I guess that's fine. So we're getting Lewis, Washington, and 1 unprotected future first, which is next year. Sure, why not? We're trading Porzingis, and do I feel good about either one of those trades? Not really. I guess we net some things, but don't comment down below that those were terrible trades unless if you're going to suggest a better idea, because, man, I struggled really badly. So if you had a better idea, that's totally fine. Let's jump in and draft at 5, man. Those were tough, but Dillingham and Edwards go 1 and 2. Matt has not gone off the board, and then he does go to the Rockets, which sucks. Isaiah Collier. And number 5, we got Zachary. We got DJ Wagner. We got Omari. We got Alex Sarr, Ron Holland, Booker, LeBron James, Keelan Ware, Mac, Aaron Bradshaw. So I have taken Xavier Booker a lot. He'd be honestly a great fit, but I did just get him in the last video, so I don't really want to do that. Zachary right now, we do have Jet Howard at the 3, but Zachary definitely could be a good fit there. Omari is also interesting, someone I don't draft all that often. 15.6 rebounds, 4 blocks per game. He could be our starting 4 or starting center right away. 6'8". He is a little undersized, though, I guess, for the center position. He'd be more like an athletic center, I guess. Alex Sarr. What do I want to do here? I mean, I know Zachary's an 80 overall, but this draft class is just so bad. It's not that great at all, so I guess we just go with what we think is best. And I haven't drafted Omari all that often, so I'm going to go with Omari here with 5th overall and hope that was a good pick. So Omari was a 76 overall. Alex Sarr is 76. Booker, I know Booker would have been a great pick. I know Zach would have been a great pick, Wagner, but I've drafted those guys in the past, so I'm kind of changing it up here. So Omari, welcome to Washington. Player options, Bertans are definitely declining. We're accepting all those, and qualifying offers, Deni Avdija is a free agent, which I do have interest in bringing him back. Just depends on how much he's asking for. Monte Morris, I'm not bringing back. Deni Avdija is asking for $21 million. But if you look at our team right now, it's Anthony Black at the point. You'll have John Davis at the 2, which is great. Corey Kispert, Jet Howard, Max Lewis, and Amir Coffey. You have Washington Omari at the 4. You're going to have Gafford at the 5. So I think the one thing we're going to be doing this offseason is literally just re-signing Deni Avdija. And our pick is going to be top 10 protected next year, so we could just tank again. So that's kind of going to be the game plan. So I'm literally just going to resign Deni Avdija, I think. That's it. And we'll roll into next year. We're gonna be bad. Don't get me wrong. We're going to suck. But it's going to give Johnny Davis all the shooting in the world. It's going to give all of our young guys opportunity in the world. We've officially moved on to a different phase here. We're trying to be a young team that's ready to build and tank. And then just see what we can come from there. So I'm going to give Deni Avdija a 4-year deal, around $19 million per year. That's great for me, and that will be it. Play progression, Avdija is up to an 81. Anthony Black is up 4 overall, which is great. So it looks like that badges that we used on him looked great. Great. Johnny Davis up to a 76. Jet Howard is up. So overall, this is looking really good. We got a lot of guys developing. We're a very young team. We're gonna suck next year, but I think this is the better direction to go in. So I'm not too upset with it. Eventually, we're going to be a contender. Now, is it going to take a while? Yes, it will, definitely. It's going to be a longer video, I would imagine, because we're already 26 minutes in because of how long it took me to find a trade for Beal. But if you look at the starting 5, it's going to be Anthony Black, Johnny Davis, Jet Howard, Deni Avdija, Gafford, Corey Kispert, Washington, Omari, Max Lewis, and then that is your rotation. So, and I'm actually more than okay with that rotation. Proficiency, we are a 3-star defense. Let's go to a balanced system. I would say that would probably be better. And then I do want to look at shot tendencies as well. So shot tendencies, Avdija is down. Anthony Black is down. What is Johnny Davis at? He's an 86. So yeah, Johnny Davis should have all the opportunity in the world here. Amari's an 80, which is great. If he can be good right away, that's awesome. Avdija, I'm going to boost up quite a bit as well. And then Anthony Black, I do want him maybe taking a few more shots. And then Kispert, we'll probably leave that all the same. And Jet Howard's going to shoot a little bit more as well. So we're going to roll with that. We're going to simulate this season. We're going to see how things go. Don't expect to be very good, obviously, but you never really know, I guess. We'll see what happens. This season, one thing I love to see is that Anthony Black wins most improved player, averaging 16 and 8. At one point, we might have actually made the play-in tournament. It was kind of looking that way, but we did fall off, which is fine. If we go ahead and take a look at the stats for this year, Johnny Davis averaged 19 points per game, 16 from Jet Howard, and 16 from Anthony Black, 16 from Denny Avdia, 11.5, and then 10 from Amari off the bench, which is honestly really cool to see. Gafford with 9 and Washington with 8.5. So overall, I feel pretty good about the result overall. I feel like we were going to be a lot worse than I thought, and we actually ended up being pretty decent. So somebody current around, you got Cleveland going on and win the championship, but thankfully we will still be in the lottery. Now our pick is only top 10 protected though, so hopefully we don't fall out of the top 10. We are projected pick number we're projected pick 12. We may not get this pick. We have to jump up. That's fine though, I guess. If we don't get this pick, no big deal. Oklahoma City number 14, and at number 13 you're going to have the Orlando Magic. But if we find a way to jump up in the top 4, that'd be honestly a miracle anyway. But we're projected pick 12, so this team was too good. Let's see if our pick falls into the top 4. That'd be wild, and it is not going to. That pick ends up into Oklahoma City, so that pick is conveyed, and that would result in, I think, all of our future draft picks being freed up. And we got the 24th pick via Oklahoma City, and then we have the 16th pick free via the Lakers, and I think that's it. So no lottery picks for us, unfortunately, but that's okay. We do have some young players we're excited about already as it is. Wes Unseld, I think I'm going to fire you. You didn't do anything wrong, but I think there's a great coaching pool this offseason. Doc Rivers, no thank you. Tyronn Lue, of course, is always a great option, and I think you can get him, unlike the other head coaches that's like really hard to get. So is there anyone else that I can go for? Tom Thibodeau, maybe we can go for him. Chauncey Billups, no thank you. I'll offer Thibodeau a contract as well. Why not? And let's see. We're going to get Tyronn Lue to sign. So get Tyronn Lue to be our new head coach in Washington. He can develop this team. He's taking on a new challenge, I guess, if there's no other options. And we're excited to have Tyronn Lue here. So now it is just time to keep developing, and eventually this team will be a playoff team. I actually want to try to move up to pick 5, so I'm offering both my picks in this draft and a future pick over to the Nets for pick 5. They don't agree to it. I am going to throw in Daniel Gafford as well and see if they agree to that. And just like that, we jump up to pick number 5. We got Dylan Harper going 1, Jackson 2, 3 Trey Johnson, 4 Barris, and number 5 Nasir Cunningham is going to be the pick. I wanted to move up to get a forward here, and I'm grabbing Nasir Cunningham, so I love that selection for us. And just like that, we walk away pretty nicely. And I'll grab Stojakovic in round 2. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to move up in the draft, and we were able to accomplish just that. So Stojakovic, I'm going to sign, and Nasir Cunningham, welcome in. Player options, I'm going to accept all of these in the qualifying offers. Corey Kispert, Ryan Kulig are both free agents. I don't think I'll be bringing back Corey Kispert at this point. We have so many young forwards on rookie contracts. We can afford to just lose them if we need to. But let's look what we got going on. So Black, Johnny Davis. We're going to have Jet Howard, Nasir Cunningham, Max Lewis. Denny Avdia, Amari, and no center. So if I moved Amari to center right now, he is going to go down, but I think he can get it. I think he'll be fine there. So we're going to have him play some center. He is going to be a little undersized, but if we can get like a backup center that's a little taller, that'd be fine. Denny Avdia is the 4 right now. I think I'm going to move Cunningham to the 4, and I think he actually goes up. He stays the same, but Nasir Cunningham, Avdia will run that 4 spot, and he'll have Amari at the center. You'll have Jet Howard and Max Lewis at the 3, Johnny Davis, Anthony Black at the 1 and the 2. So the only thing we need to do now is get some veterans off the bench, and I honestly think we could be a playoff team. So Nick Claxton at 6'11", Miles Turner, Clay Capella, Bobby Portis, Okongwu, Jalen Duren. So who do I want to add to the roster is the question. Isaiah Jackson could be a nice addition. Tillman off the bench, Nick Richards. I'm going to go for Tillman. We have plenty of cap space, so we're going to sign Tillman to be our backup center. And then I'm also going to sign, we need a backup guard. Bones Highland, Trey Jones, anything. I mean, even like a Trey Mann would be great. I'm going to go for Trey Mann. Trey Mann, we got some money. Let's sign both these guys to be our backups. And then, honestly, I think we could be a play-in team next year. I think we could be a sneaky play-in team. After the addition of Nasir Cunningham, we're not going to be that good, but I feel like with player progression on our side, we should have the ability to maybe, just maybe sneak into the play-in tournament. I don't think we'll be a contender just yet, but we look at player progression, Kulig, Corey Kispert, they're all back. We got Anthony Black up to an 82, Avdia's up to an 82, Kispert, Johnny Davis is up, Jet Howard is up, and Amari's up to a 79. So that's looking really good, and I feel good about this. So Amari technically could be an 80 at the starting 4 right now, but I definitely like him as the 5 a little bit better, and we'll see how this goes. I honestly think I have a chance. I don't know if it'll be coming this year, but eventually we're going to be a team that's going to be able to make the playoffs with this young roster that we have. Guys are going to break out. It's just going to work out great. And then maybe we can eventually make the big move if we need to. So Anthony Black, Johnny Davis, Corey Kispert, Avdia, Tillman, Jet Howard, Amari, Nasir Cunningham, and Trey Mann, and then Max Lewis. So I'm going to go ahead and start Amari over Tillman, though. I want Amari to play the starting 5 for us. And then proficiency under Tyronn Lue is defense, but we're going to run a balanced system. We're going to see how this goes this year. They want to start Corey Kispert. I honestly think I want to start Jet Howard, though, to be honest with you. So I'm going to start Jet Howard over Corey Kispert. We'll go something like that, and we'll see how the season goes. Let's see if we can be a play-in team this year. Not only were we a play-in team, but we're literally a playoff team at 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. I had a good feeling about the team we put together. 17 from Johnny Davis, 15 from Jet Howard, 14 from Deni Avdia, 11.6 from Corey Kispert, 11.5, 7 rebounds, and almost a block from Amari. Nasir Cunningham with 11.5, Anthony Black with 11 and 8, and then 10 from Trey Mann. So overall, we don't have anybody that sticks out as like the number 1 option, but we just have a lot of guys at the moment. So we definitely still need to find that number 1 guy we're going to be going to. John Davis seems to be the guy at this point. Is this a contender? Not even close. But the fact that we're even in the playoffs right now is definitely a good sign. So we get Cleveland in round 1. Obviously, I don't expect to beat Cleveland in round 1. That's going to be a little tough of a task to ask for. But we're going to go to a 9-man rotation. We're going to see how things go. Maybe we give them a good fight. Let's see what happens. Somebody current round, and we get swept. The fact that we're even here, though, is a good sign. I will take that each and every day out of the week. We got to the playoffs, and we're happy with that. But now it is time to get a guy that we think can lead us, man. Because right now, we don't have that. We just don't. We have a bunch of guys. We have some assets, but we're not in a position where we feel like we're about to be a contender anytime soon. We got the pieces. I feel good about this direction rather than the direction we could have gone in. But overall, we need to make the last move in order to put this team over the top. I feel like we got a bunch of guys. If we get someone else here, that's going to be huge for us. So now here we are in free agency, and we have a lot of cap space. It would be fun to bring Kevin Durant to the nation's capital, his hometown, but he never has wanted to come here, and I don't see the point of doing that when he's 37. So I'm not going to do that, but that would be fun. But we could go for like a De'Aaron Fox, which I'm not going to do. I want to keep Anthony Black as the point guard. Right now, the 2 positions I want to upgrade or either the wing spot or the center position. I like my 4s with Cunningham and Avdia. Jet Howard's great as well, but if we can get like a better center or a better shooting guard, which that could be Johnny Davis, we want to just keep rolling with that. That's what I want to go with. So I see like Chet Holmgren. I also see like Robert Williams as well down here. Chet would obviously be amazing. I'm going to offer him a 4-year deal. I don't know if I'll be able to get him. I don't know if they'll match his offer, but if they do, then obviously we don't get him. Jabari would also be interesting. Like I said, I do like my 4s though, but Jabari definitely at this point. Let's see what he's coming off. He's averaging 22.5 points per game. Let's be aggressive in restricted free agency. Let's see if we can get anybody and get lucky. Jaren Jackson, not what I'm looking for. Boncaro, Chet Holmgren. So basically the top 3 guys is who we might be signing. Bam Adebayo's here. Simon, Shaedon Sharp, Jarrett Allen. I mean, Jarrett Allen also unrestricted. That's another option if we want to go with that. If we just want like a guy who could just play defense down low. And then we'll just see what those 2 guys say. I want Chet the most, and they're not going to match Chet. So we might be able to get Chet, actually. Do I have to announce Johnny Davis? I do. I'm actually going to feel really bad about having to do that. So we're going to have to figure out a way where we don't have to do that. So let's make sure we don't renounce Johnny Davis because that's the last thing I want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and trade Trey Mann. That way we don't have to renounce Johnny Davis. That should be able to give us the ability to keep that 2 first-round picks is so unrealistic. Let's go ahead and not do that. But if we could trade Trey Mann to somewhere, just dump him and get like cap space back in return, that's what I want. So I'm going to trade him over to the Celtics for Jalen Washington, something like that. And that should give us the ability to not have to renounce Johnny Davis. So we're able to keep Johnny Davis while bringing in Chet, which is amazing. So Johnny Davis, we're going to sign him now, and he's going to be worth every penny. He should be developing still. And Chet was our big addition. Now, is he going to be the guy that leads us? Not really sure, but he's definitely going to be a huge upgrade and make our rotation that much better. So I feel pretty good about that. I do want to trade Tillman for a backup guard now, and then we should have a well-rounded rotation. So Tillman, we can trade you now since Amari will be the backup big to so Terrence Mann at a 2031st is perfect. So player progression, let's see how it's treating us with Johnny Davis, Anthony Black, and we brought Chet in, which is great. Chet could be the guy, and I feel like this team could be a contender, a sneaky one at that next year. And at the trade deadline, we still can make a move if we want. So Anthony Black is up, Avdia's up, Omari's up, Johnny Davis is up. Everything is looking good. Chet was the brand new addition here in Washington. Even Jalen Washington's up. Terrence Mann, Cunningham is up. So everyone is developing, which is the most important part. As long as you have a well-rounded rotation full of young players, eventually you're going to be good. So I'm not too worried about it. We might not be a contender this next year, but I think we're a playoff team again, especially with Chet being brought in. We'll just see what happens. I love the wrong draft class, but I'll fix that in a second. So let's go look at the rotation together. Power Rankings going to land us at 5th, so they feel pretty good about what we have right now. So Anthony Black, Johnny Davis, Jet Avdia, Chet Omari, Nasir Cunningham, Terrence Mann, and Max Lewis. Proficiency is going to land us at a 4.5 balance. So something is liked here. Will we be a contender this year? We shall see. Mobley wins MVP representing the Cavaliers. Cameron Boozer, Rookie of the Year in Detroit. Dillingham, 6-man. Evan Mobley, Defensive Player as well. Most improved goes to Dillingham. So, interesting. 2 awards held by 2 different people, or 2 people holding 2 different awards, I guess you should say. Here's your NBA first team. I can't imagine we'd have a Wizard here, but if we did, that'd be wild, but I don't see it. So, all of it's first team. All of it's the second team do get Chet Holmgren, so that probably helped us out a ton. And we ended up as the 3rd team in the East. So, 3rd team in the Eastern Conference. Looking at the player stats, we had 20 from Johnny Davis leading the way, 17 from Jet Howard, Chet Holmgren with 16 and 11, and then 14 and 10 from Anthony Black. So he's developed very, very well. 14 from Abdia, and then 14 from Amari with 8 rebounds and a block off the bench. 14 from Cunningham. So overall, our roster is just well-rounded and developed, which is great, which is why we're even here in the first place, because if we just literally had like Johnny Davis, Chet, and then some trash outside of that, we're probably not going very far. But we get Toronto round 1. We got to deal with Fultz, Jaylen Brown, Barnes, Siakam, Jakob Poeltl, Kennedy Chandler, Jalen Hood-Schifino, and Jae'Sean Tate. So a very good team in Washington, or Toronto, I should say, but there's a good team in Washington as well. As we're up 2-0, 23 points. Johnny Davis, the fact that he's our guy right now is kind of weird to think about. But game 3, we're up 3-0. Do we sweep Toronto? And we sweep them. So they don't even give us a problem. And now we get Boston in round 2. We have Trey Mann, Desmond Bane, Tatum, Jop, Williams, Christopher, Trey Jones, Steven Shinzo, Stevenson, and Royce O'Neal. So a tough team in Boston, but I feel like we're just better, well-rounded right now. 26-4-4. We have so many guys that can give you 20 a night, it feels like. So just so versatile right now. Boston does even it up. They do have home court advantage, but we're up 3-1. Do we beat them in 5? Yes, we do, and we're in the conference finals. And we get Cleveland. So Cleveland has Herb Jones at the 2 rather than Donovan Mitchell, and they had Mobley, who obviously is up to a 98 overall, man. Imagine Mobley on any team right now. That's insane. I would love to have him, but we do have Chet. Mobley and Chet would be crazy, but regardless, here we go. Game 1, they're up 1-0. Game 2, we even it up. So we're not going home without a fight. 37 from Johnny Davis in a playoff game is wild. He's averaging 21.5 in the playoffs. Game 3, 2-1. We beat them by 7, 31-13 from Chet. Game 4, 3-1. Do we beat them in 5? Beat them in 6? Yes, we do. We're in the finals. Wow. We're in the NBA finals, and we get to play the Spurs. Okay, that's crazy. The Spurs signed Kevin Durant. So the Spurs have KD and Victor Wembanyama with Suggs, Collier, Keldon Johnson, Trey Johnson, Jalen Duren, Kevin Huerter, Ron Holland, and Newell. So that's a very good rotation in San Antonio. I will not lie. So this definitely could be a tough one, but we shall see. Game 1, we're up 1-0, 152-118, 32 from Jet Howard. I mean, just looking at it, like I said, you got so many guys in this team that I feel like can just give you 20. So, like, Cunningham can come off the bench and do that. Avdia could have those nights. Lewis, I'm not really sure about him, but I just feel good about what we got going on. Game 2, let's see if we can go up 2-0. We do. 3-0. We do. And do we sweep the Spurs? Did we literally build that bit good of a rotation that we're about to sweep San Antonio, have Kevin Durant and Vic? I mean, Kevin Durant's like literally, so old right now, so I'm not really too surprised by that. But yeah, it's looking, actually, it's a close one. 133, but it's looking good. I think we won, but 2-point possession. We're going to jump in, and I assume we're going to be able to close this out and win our championship here. Here I am spectating this possession as we do have the ball up 2, and the Wizards or the Spurs are going to foul. They send Amari to the free throw line. I don't know how much of a good free throw shooter he is as he misses the first one. Not a great sign. Can he make the second one and force this to a 3-point game? And he is going to miss the second one as well. Kevin Durant at the rebound. They're not going to call a timeout. So, yeah, this could be bad news for us. Let's see how this is going to go. If they hit a 3 to win, or, I mean, if they just hit a 2 to tie. Wow, Vic is definitely getting that. That was just a terrible possession. And we don't have a timeout. I don't think, anyway. So, yeah, we don't have a timeout. Can we get a score, though, in 3 seconds? 2 seconds, Anthony Black from the... Yeah, that's not going anywhere. So, we're going to OT because Victor Wembanyama just absolutely bullied himself down low and got the tie game. So, we're going to OT. Here we go in overtime. Let's see what happens. We hit a 3 to start things off, and it's looking good, looking good. I think we got this as long as we don't let them back in it. Let's see, 126, 122. It's still somewhat of a close game, so let's jump in and watch these last 43 seconds, and let's see what the Spurs are going to cook up with this possession, then get it out on the sideline. They're going to pass it in, it looks like, to, I don't even know who that is. Is that Trey Johnson? Trey Johnson with the Spurs, passes to Collier. Collier's going to get Trey Johnson cutting. Good defense, though, I believe, by Johnny Davis. We get the board. Johnny Davis is going to have the ball, and you can literally just ice this right here, Johnny Davis. They're going to pass to Anthony Black, though. Anthony Black gets a screen or ghost screen, whatever that was. Screen from Chet. He's going to go ahead and dribble it. Is he going to get a score here? And he's going to shoot a terrible shot, and that leads to nothing. So the Spurs get the ball back again. They can either take the lead or force overtime once again for a second overtime because that was a terrible shot. Collier dribbling around. Let's see what he decides to do. Anthony Black's playing defense on him. And Black is still there playing great defense, but he's going to go to the free throw line, the ability to tie it up. So Collier here at the free throw line, he's going to make the first one, and I'm sure he's going to hit the second one, and it'll be a tie game. He hits it. So tie game again, 2 seconds left in the clock. This time we actually have a timeout. So here we go. Let's see if we can hit a game winner, or we're going to go to a second overtime, because right now it's looking like we might be going to a second overtime unless we can hit a game winner. So let's see what happens. Going to pass it in to who we passing it into? Johnny Davis? Get it in, Johnny Davis. From the logo. Oh my, that almost went in. Not from the logo, by the way. That was like from almost the half court line. But wow, bro. That was almost Dame-esque. We're going to a second overtime, man. All right, here we go. Second overtime. Let's see what happens here. We might not be able to come back from this one. We've had the lead, and we let the Spurs force 2 overtimes. We get it back, 132 to 133. Once again, we have the lead. It's back and forth once again. 135 to 135. I think it's safe to say we jump in and watch the rest of this. 53 seconds left. A lot of gameplay watching here. Kevin Durant at the free throw line is going to make the first one, and I'm assuming he's going to hit the second one. So we could have signed KD on this team if we wanted to, but I decided not to. So was that a regret? Who knows? But Anthony Black is going to have the ball. Let's see if we can tie it up here or take the lead. Anthony Black's going to take it to the paint, and he is going to miss the floater. The Spurs are going to have the ball with the ability to take the lead even further. Kevin Durant's on Anthony Black. KD can easily rise over him, and Kevin Durant shoots a terrible mid-range, and Vic gets the rebound, and Vic's going to lay it back up. That might be all she wrote. Unless we can score on this possession, we're probably done for, and we're probably not. We're going to call a timeout. So I don't think I would have used that timeout here because that was our last one, but here we go. Let's go to another possession here. 29 seconds left on the clock. And we're going to be passing it into Johnny Davis, looks like. Yeah, Johnny Davis going to get the ball. Anthony Black, he's going to take it to the paint, and he is going to miss again. So we lost this game. We're going to game 6. So the Spurs ended up winning game 4. I'm going to be honest, that was a lot of gameplay watching, and went to like 2 overtimes. So I'm not even sure if I'm going to show it, but I'm just going to go ahead and simulate this last one. And did they come back from 3-0? No, we beat them in 6. Okay. So we won a championship. We beat the Spurs in 6 games. I might leave that gameplay out. I don't know. It was kind of dragged out. I feel like it's, I don't know. It just dragged out a little too much, and there was really nothing good about what we were watching. So if I didn't show it, it's because it literally was not worth it. So, but we beat the Spurs in 6 games. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you drop it a like if you did. We won a championship with this roster. It was definitely different, but Johnny Davis, Anthony Black backcourt for the win to get our championship with the Wizards. So thank you guys for watching. As always, I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.